So, to begin with, Natajako, the government of the Gambia has allocated $40 million to media houses in the Gambia. And the interesting bit of it is, Nata Minjeje Wolom, Miyen Jakalje Wolom, Tundi, just allow me one moment. Miyen Jakalje Wolom, Munatina Wuketa, Mo Wole Long. Why did that happen? But all the same, nga feel le control be la responsibility slum pour nga dunang nga na opinion sol for, because I cannot understand a country which is called a republic of the Gambia, governed by the three arms of government, elected by the people, can unanimously sit at a corner or as a ministry and then take a unilateral decision in the interest of the people, thinking, no, it's good because we are doing it to safeguard the government. I'm not going to sit here to tell people what is the difference between a government, a state, country, what we call country, and also a ministry. I don't have time for that. But I love to promote some faham wolom. A koliata nyaonya. Gambia is our Gambia. And we cannot exchange Gambia with any other country. Gambia muntole la Gambia. Mbese u faham na understand. Ko Gambia muntole tati. Come rain, come sunshine, ndole tam. And untanim fem falina. Nimi ngomi bije as the president, ite a feel ko ite lom president oti. And yaje ko mingomi ka ke banko kang, ite nyanta kela wole nyamo oila department, that is up to you. But let us bear in mind ko, the Gambia is our country. And Gambia welfare, whether you are APRC, MPP, UDP, or any, the Gambia is our country. Gambia welfare, the welfare of the Gambian people, the sovereignty and the territorial integrity and security, it is the responsibility of every one of us. Whether you are a Gambian in the Gambia or a Gambian outside, or those people resident in the Gambia. Because the peace and stability, the tranquility of the country, wolom tolla consanti, without which ning Gambia mo wosoto, none of those decisions kaminta atem makoila. So I cannot understand that when we intolunga be Gambia be daming haji kolangol be laring kungol kam, we have pressing concern. Minya lonko itulu fongo nyanta lonale ko. Nin nyanta jubele jumale fisia betiata mole, jumale betiata for the interest of the Gambian people. A sober government weigh out those things and kajube, because the Mingominkela should be in the interest of the Gambian people. But what I want to say here is, it has already been decided. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. My darling, nakata nyadi. Inimbara, baji basen. Baji kasama. Abaraka. Where the country, where there's rule of law, and obviously law abiding government or abiding by the law is supreme to every aspect of life. Akumatale mansakunda sa long mune nyante tolma, because min nyante tolma ubitamin affect la wolom banku dingol mini carte fayke sindije nkala nyina ko place clinique mo beti sino la je so kana ka fo lelo ndika foko al nga carte fay nga jibe nga sembodi mo kilen andu ni watu sita molbe password le ibe itila yekisi ya jube yemune to doku wo kola isna carte fay ko tek bari wo sanji lulo kono ye nyantole soto banku dingol fana ye nyantole soto itema as a president. So ni decision funti ta itela manza kunda kono until we will have to come back and look at you as the president and ask questions. Mi yalon ko bila flal pour ay jabi. O nga nak until fana nga kama min soto nga opinion min soto ngake. Nga express. So tuta molbo opinion in tala nyani. But in Kanyim info, it's not an opinion. It is a fact. Because follow kabirinte ngamui. Ndengamra talin no. Ngamra nunko halambulogan lo. Lebon lupi. But kabringa karang on the papers. That standard newspaper cannot carry such a headline. And amanke tonyati. And there are other, online media houses, they carry the story. Kunyine be caring. $40 million to be allocated to 7 media houses in the country. And those 7 media houses, they've named them clearly. Ya diminula, wolum follow. QTV, wolfana be nafala jim 40 million okonole. iAfrica, wolfana be nafala jim 40 million okonole. Sparkling Media, wolfana be nafala jim 40 million okonole. Fandema Media, wolfana multimedia, wolfana be fang munafana jim 40 million okonole. Star TV, wolfana be fang munafana jim Fatu Network, wolfana be imuna fang na 40 million okonole. Aning Paradise TV, radio and TV, wolfana be imuna fang na jele. So wala media house waran kibari safiral ni kibar janjal na bungul mini alonko wolle be nafa sot la 40 million ot min keta million tanani follow nyinin karol nyanta tala dami wolom nyim million tanano abota muntole nyim million tanano abota muntole according to ngamin soto abota Ministry of Information na abota Ministry of Information woto the legislative min mo yalon ko wolle ka luwa dada andu kadde paso tay ka janjande inyante fongo nyinin kala fo kabriye 2024 budget sambana ya kejele ko $40 million bijele mi yalon ko should be allocated to media houses or specific media houses ning atra man keje itul nyante fanyinin kala ye kodo min bondika allocate to the Ministry of Information million jallam wo million jalo adunta muntole ni atra nyum 40 million o bota wala kono oto mu taxpayer lati mol mine namojo wala kodo e kawleta ka dundi jeto oto ni atra ko namo min jota bota mol bul anyanta dunna ni kibar kay safela ni janjar lalia the top media house min nyanta benefit laje wolom the taxpayers media house wolon GRTS ni yalon ko na monika namojo anim man sakunda la bun so nim man sakunda la namo wole tata be janjanna kibari janjannal tema nim bu la min folo nyanta sotola wole nyanta kala GRTS so munat na GRT amantraji for GRTS is specific allocation ole bondi e bang ya dila mala fo on kami nyininga GRTS abe ministry jamale koto is it under Ministry of Information or for Ministry of Works I don't know ninon kodi woto ni atrako itol fongo malum man sakunda be GRTS pedami woy muni yitandi wolom lack of good governance lack of good governance woy muni yitandi incompetent where there is incompetent there is lack of good governance where there is lack of good governance that means there is no respect for rule of law following due process of the law so man sakunda mi yalonko yekuo ke mi yalon ko ay nyindulal be breke to mol nyante te nyinin kalale andu nyante fongo andu mol nyante kontibola ne wato sita wala nan kafo so amanya nakala ni atra namu jola la kodolam nata kibaro sotoko Paradise FM wolbe million tang ani wuli kemenani wole sotla ibe wole dila wala million tang ani wuli kemenani that is $10.4 million will be allocated to Paradise FM. Fatu Network will be allocated $5.2 million Well, 5,200,000 if only delay over the year. Fandema multimedia will fana be 5.2 million lesotla. Sparkling media will fana be 5.2 million lesotla. iAfrica will fana be 2.5 million lesotla. QTV will fana be 5.2 million lesotla. To watch this. Yajale, imagine na darling kafanyoko. In fact, Sparkling Media House is fake. That's another thing. So, ning ayatra ubekela. Uto nyininka kenyanta kala. According to what's on Gambia, according to Foday Chorr, I'm quoting what's on Gambia. Iko, when we contacted the Minister of Information, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay, to get a copy of the contract his ministry signed with the 7 media outlets, he responded, Ako, the contract was signed before my arrival. I got to know about it few days after assuming office. I am also waiting to receive the file as part of my handing over. Note. That is what I'm aiming for. Dr. Ceesay of all people. Momin karanta fay Dr. Yasoto. Momin karanta politiko karam fay Dr. Yasoto. Momi yaje ko mimbe kerim banko amanta ambaton fananga political kafo londi nganda ke political tamandi nyakon. Momi yalon ko kono aka dindingol karandi politiko nyanta tamara nyaming dami yalon ko nyone ne politique dami. Inati appoint as Minister of Information. Ite mom file di la fan follow. It was not handed. You started announcing to implement. Imaming hand over there. According to Dr. Ceesay, the files has not even been handed over to him yet. If I were in his shoe, I would not do anything until I saw what is on that. So Ali Ajale, the question of appointing wrong people in positions, that is putting square peg in round holes. He might be well educated to a doctorate level as a doctor, teaching political science, but that does not significantly mean that he can run Minister of Information. No way. So Ate, he has even started making errors before he even sit on that hot seat. So somebody need to help Doctor Kayamari, politiko katamanyami, even though I politiko le karang. Dalila koila ati nanga nyimfo, katun Doctor la siyo ning bitema, Doctor incident leketa in Kanilai, ning concerned about the tank. Doctor la department, information officer at the Ministry of Information, a press release bondi. A press release from that department, a copy of it should be on the table of the minister or permanent secretary before it is released. Probably the minister is a supervisor, but the technocrats, the information member that Minister of Information Officer Bulu concerning that tank, Kanilai tank, was erroneous. It was wrong. It was very wrong when he was minister. In fact, he was quoting instances many along. It related to President Jammeh and the Jammeh Commission. We got nothing to do with the tank. He did not even sit among CC Rankang. He started making errors, trying to fend and defend the undefendable. In the same vein, Yawuliande Okam, a ministry, whoever wrote that information, Yawuliande. I thought they will learn from that as a new minister and personnel trying to do a handover quickly. The ferry services, Kabrim ferry nying stocked in Bahraning Banjul Tema. That incident, straight away the media houses came, people were all major stakeholders, including the army, the navy, the Minister of Information, Minister of Transport, even at State House, as head of the security intelligence, the Inspector General of Police, all whatnot, Interior Minister, they were all there on the ground. Again, the information officer from the Ministry of Information said that ferry lost route as a result of bad weather. That is wrong information. Not correct at all. Only for the army to come and release a press release stating that it was a mechanical and technical problem. What is the difference between weather problem and engine problem? That also, and other media houses like the ferry services also came out with a press release to clarify the issue or to clear the air. It was only the Ministry of Information that lied and said it was based on weather or the weather condition. All the others were, they hold the bull by the horn and said it was a mechanical problem, engine problem. That was another wrong. Today, the ministry came out to allocate only to 7 media houses $40 million, leaving out GRTS, the state-owned media house, leaving out Standard newspaper. Are you surprised? Leaving out the Point newspaper. I'm definitely surprised. Leaving out Foday newspaper. I'm not surprised with that. Leaving out Teranga FM. Leaving out Capital FM. Leaving out West Coast Radio. I will go on and on and on and on. How do you mean by caring? No, brother. No, brother. For digital FM. Allahu Akbar. So these are some of the things that I want to quickly highlight to people to understand, and we look at it together. As a nation, that's my opinion is, it's not legal, and not legal. We have to look at it. Is it in conformity with the constitutional requirement? Is it following the due process of protocols and procedures? Is it also in line with some of the legislative that are put in place as far as state ministries or state departments are concerned? Would it not be better put we are not together and involve all the media houses? But they are saying they have already contacted a body called, I don't know, GPPA or whatever they call it, and will call it is in line. They can go ahead. In fact, they further said they've done a private or a secret bidding. They did a secret bidding. Why? Look at what they said. A secret bidding. Why do it have to be a secret bidding in the first place? And I also want to look at now where the state or the Ministry of Information in a relationship with the main press union. There is a Gambia press union. Is the main body that governs the activities of press, the activities of the press in the country. And those fana, that body is a legal entity that at any cost or whatever happened, it nyantake involved in taking decisions like that. Because nyantaka long, how many of those people you are allocated with that substantial amount of money are linked or related with union? Because nyinekatina mansakunda give powers to trade unions like teachers union, press union, workers union, drivers union, and all these things, so that it will finance if they can see themselves in the political dispensation, in decision making and other stuff. But marginalizing the press union, Gambia press union, marginalizing some of the major mainstream media houses, you cannot rule that out. When you talk about Foday was here since the days of Jawara. West Coast region, West Coast Radio, Kerfatu, Standard newspaper, GRTS, our own taxpayers' own state media house. If they are not allocated with that, then probably behind the scene they've been allocated something special. Let's look at this as a nation. Politics. Let's look at it. If the government can come out, especially the Ministry of Information, and give us a press conference and explain this out for people to understand, because we have interest, it's our money. So this is the problem. I agree with you, Yankuba Manga, our state at the moment needs surgery. Need diagnosis. In fact, people only are diagnosed for you don't know what is wrong with the state. So we need a proper surgery. Kajiko, the state is moving in the interest of everybody. Until the next 5 years, 2026, we go into elections. But we cannot sit by and watch. It's happening, and we said it is happening. When even the president can turn around and make statement that people will close their ears or even cast doubt or make fun. What is this? The people are there to make their own judgment. All right. The other issue left Fana Mala. Basically, that is concerning the visit of the new president from Senegal. For me, he first went to Mauritania, but anyway, I would have said the first point of call should have been Gambia, because Momo Kalafiol. Then we are in the history book of Kabringa Sita, and not until the follower. But who will tell him where to go first and where not? Because Gambia is a border country to Senegal, just like Mauritania is a border country to Senegal. So I tell that choice based on the interests of Senegal. But me atina until we should all come together as one people, one nation and one Gambia, and give a rousing welcome to the president of Senegal, because it is paramount. In a sense, me atina of all Senegal and Gambia, we are so close. Until little close to Benjamin as neighbors is different from Mauritania. Until we are kind of like inside Senegal like that. Almost, if not the Atlantic, we are going to be landlocked state. But all the same, alhamdulillah. With proximity, atinale, there are so many things in common between Senegal. When it comes to culture, when it comes to religion, when it comes to security, when it comes to even the way we comfort ourselves. So Senegal, the president, Sita Kutama, Kotoma, Kana Gambia visit is paramount, is a prerequisite, and is necessary. Much more when they have a new president. Wofana Nyantanalale sit with our government, that is from government to government, the government of Senegal and government of Gambia, to sit together and discuss bilateral relationship and other issues of interest, particularly security. When you said security, it encompasses a lot. Food is part of security. Financial transaction is part of security. Trade is part of security. Not to talk about, protecting the territorial integrity of each country, our borders. Because Senegal and Gambia are two different states. So we'll be penalty mini alonko. It's important to Senegal and Gambia president o ilaman sakundale si jube issue out. But minketa fana wolom nabi kela. Both the government should have an insight of muno Gambia la problem Gambia la muno Senegal la problem. What is affecting Senegal communicate to affect the livelihood of Gambian people, and then Gambia fana communicate to affect the life of the Senegalese people. In doing that, because mbenyole kono farane jamba katong sinyo kubuka sinyo kuba ndola lekat. If you look at what happened, I will go there briefly. 2016 election, 2017. The Senegalese and the government and the people and the community, they've played greater role. Some roles, some other people, school of thought Yajiko is a bad role you mean play. Other school of thought Yajiko is a very good role you mean play. It is now left to the people to make their own judgment. But me important if I involved Senegal were vehemently involved 2017. They were involved. To an extent, that's where Adama Barrow was leaving after the elections. He was even sworn in that. So what proximity are Jeleko, Gambian and Senegal, so important to Lepuru, a new president. For me, whether it is Jomai Faye or it is Sonko or it is another president, whoever is a president of Senegal, Anyantana la Gambia. Now, ala important in Kaule Falete. But Kukilim Fanabije Wolom, the people of the Gambia should come out here welcome. Will the state tell Jomai Faye, these are the negative side of our relations? No, they will not. So it is up to the people. Almala Nyantoleti, Pro Ali Fundinang, Ali Jomai welcome. Because Jomai dignitaries lebina. Jomai media houses lebina. Media houses in the Gambia will find funtila to welcome him. Mole funtila to welcome them. So those people, mimala consanti, you can raise it. Who will think that Jomai will stop at the airport and talk to people? You must be a Fula or a Jola. It's not. And at the time, so the pro IG flight, you someone to VIP, you doing the motor, and reading all what is there. No, it's not. What is very paramount is if you have a concern to express, you can go and welcome with a placard or a banner. What do you want to put on your banner is in the interest of the country, not in the interest of a political party, not in the interest of a section, in the interest of the country. One of the things that we must not shy away from making very clear for the new government to come. Either we do it now, or we wait now, or OIE summit lang, or individuals or groups or political parties can write to the government of Senegal and raise their concern. But on the day that he is coming, we must not do anything that is going to jeopardize the peace of his visit in the Gambia. We must all come out in full force to welcome him and show Gambian taranga, and show Gambian hospitality, and show the smiling coast of Gambia. Moma Lonka Tambati, because me Wuluta Senegal obviously know what is in Gambia. But because he's a new president, we do that. But that should not stop us to write banners and say, we want the Senegalese troops in Foni to be removed because they are killing our people. Even the government of the Adama Barrow accept Senegalese can fale. Yem fa fo Adama Barrow fon son tatonyalum sanyinu e kas Foni ko ke fale. And I can tell you why in Kasonta. Because Kabrin Duafata, nearly two or three ministers, commissioners, imams, it was like a state burial. Even Barrow gave 3.7 million to the family. Why? Because he knew that how do we solve that problem? When the soldiers from Senegal territory can come into the country, buy stuff from the Amaka Kanyaola in Namulfa. Senegalese have been using drones, killing Gambians, innocent Gambians. Senegalese have been throwing cells. They were throwing cells, and they land in the Gambia. Will be more they are serious crime, offense to the country. How do we approach the new Senegalese government to understand that this is the situation, and it is abundantly clear to Osco. They are not part of the economic force. It was an agreement between Gambia, President Adama Barrow and Macky Sall to bring those people into the country. We impact means on the life of the people, especially regional bedaming, and economic problem mean create for the Gambia, and also the fact that people cannot travel freely from Gambia to Senegal. Nibe trading la, imela fengo busibul or may charge an exorbitant amount of money la. When we all share the same organization we call ECOWAS. And there are ECOWAS treaties, meaning along signed between member states on trade, free movement of goods and services. So, but Senegal violate. Do we have to make them understand? Do Jamaica need to know that when they are calling Pan-Africanism? Muneba Tinala, today, from 2017 to now, children in Foni, nearly more than 20,000 children could not sit an exam because of the involvement of Senegalese troops stationed in Foni and the activities within the border. Why? People, the new government lay along, by either showing placards so that media houses, Minubina, they can capture it, either at the airport, or Coco Bay, or at State House. So these things, they are paramount. Among ika relationship between Adama Barrow and Jomai Faye, ika wale kolyandi. No. Ika ming kitandi wolam, you are trying to show the new government that if you don't know, if you have not inherited this, this is how the people of Gambia are suffering. As neighbors, Allah state can call Gambian ulkan, whether you live in Foni or not. So it's very important. So Alana, apart from bilateral relationship, multilateral relationship, visiting each other as brothers, control muna, and they're looking into trade and all whatnot. These are all things that should be highlighted. Nimma Fono at a press conference, then you can as well the media houses, regardless whether you receive 5.2 million or you didn't receive it, so you should go and they should go at a press conference to ask these questions. Since 2017, we have got private, securities who are guiding our president. On top of that, Senegalese soldiers are all stationed at the State House. When are you going to leave the country? Because there is no war in the country. There is not even a protest in the country. There is not even a demonstration in the country since 2017. It's only 3 years jotna. Adama Baroko kabringa e tiagaso faikam. Moma fuiko kobuto kuliatale. And he's proud of that. And Fabakary Tombong Jatta said it's justifiable purum tolmin be fundraising la tiagaso faintol. Don't forget. So this is it. Namanke woti. Nothing else. Nimbi jamwolom drong. Every other day, within 48 hours, they are killing people. 3 people at the same time. 3 people within 48 hours. 2 women, 1. Ufana constituency means so the importance of Kafuntina is there, but the important also to show information ko. This is what the Senegalese are. This is the trouble that we are facing because of the presence of the Senegalese forces in the country. And outline how many people were killed or died as a result of the presence of the Senegalese here. And when Jumai, Sonko and Pastef were fighting to have a proper democratic dispensation in Senegal, many of them were arrested. They were handled with heavy hand. More than 15 people died. Gambian soldiers did not go there to stop them. Economic soldiers were not sent there. When Macky Sall moved the elections from February to whatever he wanted to, nobody complained. Everybody shut up. They fought to change that. Why is it that Ntulu, as Gambians, as neighbors, we cannot say we don't want these people in our country and they are still here? Then Jomai and Sonko are going to be challenged to further spread the democratization process and Pan-Africanism. It will come in claim to come to our country. And that is also possible no level of Nimfuntitanang. Now welcome. So our posters or our banners saying we don't want the Senegalese soldiers in the country. They are an occupying force. They should leave because there is no war, there is no internal conflict, there is no civil war, no religious war, nothing. Why are they in the country and harassing our people, discriminating them, segregating them, shooting them, killing them, and suppressing them? In the name of what? In fact, causing more insecurity than security. Even though they are present in the country, within 48 hours, people can, murderers can come and murder 3 people at the same time and go. Why? One fendolti ngamin for. The other point for ngamin for the survival of Foni, I've said that. I've also mentioned about the Senegalese visit, 40 million, I've said that. We'll just give a quick one. Unless the Minister of Information, Sefuntina, and give us further explanation with why $40 million has been spent on the media houses, 7 media houses, and then the rest, are not even given anything. Why? And the criteria use. The money is a taxpayer's money. Even though ni atrako, they are supported by OIC. OIC itself, Koluminatana, is our money. It's for the benefit of the country. So, wasifalo akamin sa manang bangko kan asiyata baki. Because then you are forcing the media house, in some instances, they are not professional, to go against the state. And wala repercussion is dangerous. So therefore, abimino affect the ordinary citizens, the people, the taxpayers. So amuntole la right to question ministries kakudo dispose nyaming and why they doing that? Because ngalo neko, I can say this, and probably I want somebody to challenge me. $40 million knowing very well that we have 2 ferries, mini engineering, among better. $40 million can purchase 2 new ferries. And even it can also build a tank in Banjul if they want a new tank. Rather than going all the way to Foni, dismantle that tank and then bring it to Banjul and use 40 million and give it to media houses. Some of these media houses, I was surprised by some of them out of nowhere because they were completely dormant. But out of nowhere, now they are leading, high profile interviews. I'm not surprised that this is happening. What's this? But some of those media houses were the ones who were out there asking Fatuba Barrow to bring out $35 million. Fatuba Barrow Kodole, $45 million. Some of them were Wolebo Fokan. But again, they tried a stone. So it only decided, no, that's not the best way. But not our president, so we can have an ordinary person. A media house that belongs to a group of people or an individual as an independent media, the person has a choice. Anyanta means support or anyanta political party means support. But in the process of making a choice as to who you want to vote for or which political party you want to support, you must not compromise your professional integrity. You must not compromise the ethic of the job. You must not compromise the professionalism of the people you work with. You've been the owner and you decided to go into a con. So a total journalists are working in your institution, whether they want to compromise their professional or ethical professional ethics. Because Kabrim journalism can. I don't know nothing about it. I was a qualified teacher, trained teacher, senior master. I worked in various areas. But when I came, today some of the people, they own their media houses, or some of them they didn't even start. Some I was working with them. They were calling me join the list. And I accepted it. But what I did is I quickly built my capacity. When I had training somewhere in Ghana, came back, came to the UK, my training, not yet I can jump into it. Not yet I'm doing something else which is completely different from that anyway. But I got my experience and qualification. So one thing I feel nimba kela daho dare, na professionalism, na nte compromise with anything. So nimu kulet mi alon ko nyanta ke jube as young people. I had an interview with somebody who said, Atea Moiko Kabrinte Daily Observer, I was there preserving the interests of Jan. I said, probably whole little opinion. But what I started, I was struggling because I didn't have the actual training. I got the academic capacity. I went to school, I did my whatever. But as a journalist, I needed to build my capacity on the profession. Because anybody can pick a pen from the street and write. So I went and studied. And today I'm happy that I sit with people, they are into the profession and share ideas with them. Sometimes give them, but I have a group where I sit with them as a session and, I have a workshop. And I think it's benefiting them. Some of them will call me for an interview and share. But what people think at that time, Yaya Jammeh was controlling the Daily Observer. I can swear on my life, it's Al-Quran or Taki, that Kabrinte Bijay from 2001 to 2003, 2 years, Yaya Jammeh sing on Nenemal Daily Observer. And Nenemon Soto. And Nenemon call KJ Fankafo Daily Observer, within Daily Observer. No. Yaya Jammeh has not received a single penny from that company as a turnover. Billahi, wallahi, tallahi. Staff soul minu biji. They pay themselves salaries, they pay themselves allowances, they do everything, they maintain the place running for their survival. For Kabrinte Botaje, Malo Munepije. But I'm telling you, And he bought it. And I can tell you why he bought it. But today, that Daily Observer is no more. By the time the Daily Observer closed, they have deprived more than 100 people. They rendered them unemployed. Some of them who worked at the Daily Observer more than 20 years with nothing. In those days, people were calling for change. Change like Gambia has decided. Yajame has never segregated any newspaper house. If he's going to give a badila laftamin, that's our own money. But state money, can more discriminate and any one sort of. But we still call that person a financial criminal. Today, the truth is coming out. There was a recent interview that I wanted to highlight, where the first Secretary General to Journal Commission, who was sacked because he wanted to, according to him, he wanted to follow due process. There are other areas that I don't agree with him at all. And he's my very good brother, Nae debate ke Jamaleto. Very good. Our contribution. But I disagree with him, and I will continue to say that he cannot describe Jammeh's wealth as ill-gotten wealth. It's not true. Jammeh's wealth is not ill-gotten wealth. Tonyanteng. Ndelengafo. Nimi left can debate alena. It's not political. Because Jammeh started as a civil servant since high school bang. Yes, he doesn't have enough to keep it, I think. But when he became a president, don't remember that 20 years is not 20 months. Been paid money. That's legally kajumin. And we all knew that he was investing that money into agriculture and other things. If you said that, probably he's been involved in business and he was not, he was not supposed to be, but he was. Look at that. I mean, yeah. But anything that Jammeh took from the state is being put into a state-owned institution to help that state grow. If he takes money from Social Security, he puts it in NAWEC. And NAWEC is a state-owned entity. Now I pull it out from Social Security and put it in Gambia Transport. It's a Gambia Transport, it's a state-owned. The management should have worked and returned the money back. Now I pull it out Social Security. Atata kanilai, I extate or loje. The estate is in Gambia. Now I pull it out. Atata I still low in Nyomi. Nyomi is in Gambia. But his personal money, I mean earned, you cannot call that ill-gotten health. Or wealth, sorry. Ill-gotten wealth. I will not agree with that. Every president in the world is souvenir sotole. You can go to a particular place, Arabolia, anywhere, and they give you a souvenir, a gun, a placard gun, gold. What's wrong with it? If the country has got laws to say, me as a president or any civil servant, if you go out and you are given a present, if the present is valued up to £300, for example, you should surrender it to the state. But if it is less than that, you should keep it. Nima surrender, you are violated the law. In the Gambia, is it outlined anywhere that any civil servant, president, wife of the president, anybody, if you go out on a state visit and a particular president gave you a present, and that present it was more than 100,000, you should return it. Is that the law? If that is the law, Allah, then we can know. But everything that has been done in the Journal Commission was done in rust. Has not been done credibly. That's why I call them, the report that they gave is very incredible and unreliable. Hence the rust. Purika moluta, ikaw molu banned from working, biton munun koleka hulukote kamol chika keke back into the government. Akamunta ko ifengo fono, imuta ko ganehu. Ikakuno. That's exactly what happened. In the Jammeh Commission, there are some other people, they've got personal vendetta against Jammeh. You cannot put those kind of people in the commission. We knew the then Minister of Justice Minister, Batambedu, from Atifong down at the family line. We know the chairman of the Jammeh Commission down at the family line. They've all got issues with Jammeh. So it was time for them to settle that score. They did it to the best of their ability and confused the country and put us in this situation. Jamela property, some of them were given out. And it was 2016 coalition government members, all of them, who were involved. Whether you take it or not, involved them. Because you should know better. Why are they even selling those tractors when the finding is not conclusive? It can reason solely for they are vague. One person in Jammeh, one person, he is able to keep and take care of 700 heads of cattle. One person. The whole state, the whole of the Gambia, cannot take care of 700 cattle. Are they serious? Will they ever be involved in animal husbandry then? Are they going to help people? One person in Jammeh was able to take care of 700 cattle or more. The whole of the state combined, Kabrim President of Uduma last person, we cannot take care of 700 heads of cattle. Ngawafi. In the interest of Alingam Bambang Adomo. That's why it's impossible for that man to be allowed to come back here. Because he alone. Na binala jamfana excessive force and power. Ibole laraka. Alama alem betank katala. So that's what interview. Like I said, what Muhammad Kurang said in that interview, true, right? Most of them. Somebody will argue it outside. But you know what really sad about it? It was the right thing, said at the wrong time, told to the wrong person, said at the wrong place. I said it. Imi lafta kan telenya funyo why. Kabri yate bay from the commission, anyanta diamla wo jamanol, with such interview to even international communities. Kabri Jammeh Commission report submitter. Lungo minake ulumula tefana nyanta press conference grant to the people to say the figures given is not. Then people can now see they can make their job. You wait until after how many years? When even almost there to the end of the implementation of the Jammeh Commission. If you say it now, yes, people will keep it for the next commission Mimbina and at the next commission Mimbina. To the person who said it, was that person Mia Lonko, he's part of the frame. Mia Lonko, they have worked out, manipulate, deceive people in the Gambia and outside just to see the failure of an APRC government and Jammeh. You go to that person and you grant that person an interview. It's a mockery. It's an insult in our eyes. So to tell me Lonko, we were in the APRC government and support Jammeh. In fact, he's just happy to say, I got the most, high-profile interview with Kurang concerning Jammeh. But he found for interview too. It's not new. We knew it. It was said before. And we said it. So I sympathize with people who knew the right thing, say it at the wrong time, say it to the wrong people, and say it to the wrong place. It was right information, wrong place, wrong time, wrong people, to the wrong person. So, what interview, Munatina Nata, it's not because they have interest. Because the legislatives, the National Assembly member, including Foni, independent MPs and everybody, they've raised questions at the adjournment debate about the properties of the ex-president. It wasn't only Almami who was talking about it. Yes, he led the question, but all the MPs also question it, whether they are UDP, independent, and so on. The only political MPs that did not question is Are the APRC2 MPs, I didn't hear them ask any question about Jammeh's property. But that is their choice, it's their right. But anybody with concern raised wanted to get clarity from government. The Justice Minister cannot even tell us. They refuse blatantly. Ikamoy MP solka falbenim fonolal yenin domonyami ba fonolal because they knew. And at that question, adjournment debate, question and answer time, it was established to everybody that there is foul play here, there is something wrong. What was reported to us they cannot even get the records. It can for at the house, and record they are not telling. So I am not wrong to still stand by Jammeh. I am not wrong to still support APRC. I am not wrong to still defend the fact. Including those many alongo, they stood behind and wanted to get the fact. Tell us where Jammeh is wrong, we will accept. But Alkamin Fonye is manipulated, is fabricated, it's not authentic. Interview Keta. Almame questioned Mininga and others. You saw it. Almame came out and said, Jammeh, give me power of attorney, I will sue the government because now I know Yeminke is not right. Give me power of attorney, I'll sue them. And he did not say that hiding. He said it plainly and it attracted headline on a newspaper. Headline, I will attract. And he still stood by that. Naka diamule. Jammeh power of attorney dinambe mansakunda sula for la property. Are you aware that Jammeh Lamwaba is a murder to Jammeh? The only crime she did is to be a murder of Jammeh. When she died, she left financial money of $1.something million in her account, being the mother of the president and being a person, a Gambian mere rights to get money. She saved it in an account. When she passed away, Wunyanta Kelamunity or Ketality. That's nothing to do with Jammeh. Unless and until the money is now given to Jammeh, Jammeh Damante ala will asafemi. You don't know ala will for Jammeh Kari. Jammeh power of attorney di mola pra receive. That person knows himself. But Tambedu and the government, including Adam Abaro, refused to give that old woman ala will nyanta tala dani. Umu hakabaliti alta karanal nyeninka. Fu manke Gambia. Fu molmaje. That is also part of the assets, financial assets, man sakunda e minta. Ani molbe kiti la walal because ala atela ala fonko la moti, ala will. I mean to come. Ketalo. Anyanta tala molle halafta me tamia. I dol kulule, dol ma barin dingoleti, do ma la barin ke dingoleti, I dingo soto, and others they should get it. But Tambedu broad daylight. Akata kela. Adama Baruka aiming for all better. Yes, sir, boss, anything. You can go on. It happened. Pimin for mantra fanality because ngalone power of attorney safeta min toyala assigned to what min aditala what min I knew everything is on my diary. Defania follow billahi inti kamula moka. And those people wole wulite tata ko ale mbenga wulingatanga baro sembentu yandi pra state 2021. They did. And they said they made an agreement. Those people, in an interview, they said, I even asked them, said, I did not see any agreement that was made between MPP and APRC, but I trusted the people. Where is it today? That is the problem in which we are. And it's not only Jammeh Kunda or Kanilai or Wone that are suffering. The people of Fonyi. How many people were displaced? Cabinet soldier in rebel Benyola. Ye nisi jelle famul bul from Kanilai. Ye keba jelle monkey dance in Kanil that Ekafudam Asalem. This is hard to take. When I look at people, nga feel like tumondo battle. Mudol biti ye nenele aketa wole nyam. That interview when you will in So what they did is, knowing very well Konkanale, the Justice Minister and the Department of Justice and Judiciary, they came and then went to the Speaker, the Clerk of the House. They presented a bill, which is a setting up of a special tribunal, setting up a special tribunal to try the TRRC culprits and Jammeh, either here or somewhere. They are trying to do that. In order to quieten the people. Anytime you Jammeh come over or anything APRC, they will bring something. Alkanan, no doubt about that. But we are here. Time is what is what will prove us all. Alaman being a forward and we see. If it's happened, Jammeh will come and answer to calls. Let them go to it. Wa alama alay mabewal. Alama alay jata kenda nis madi Jammeh. The other problem, I'm just finishing now. Wolom, what is that? No, don't worry. I think you can follow it later and share it. Thank you very much for coming, Mr. Jamanka. My last point will be Brikama Area Council. The Area Council Commission. The Area Council Commission. Thank you very much for Jaju. For Malumuna Koi for Jaju, for Sanyan Jata. I'm sorry. Jaju Kundankol, they'll be happy to have an additional, but you are not. You are Sanyan Jata. Barinko, ngana dalin fanaja. Amina Jami, Assalamu alaikum. Manglanu you. Polong, Baji Basen. Na uncle, Baji Kundankol. Mohammed Kujabi, greetings. Sirifo Jiba, my brother, Samba Kamara, Jere Marong and all the others. Assalamu alaikum. My darling Tanta Baji, Gasama. Na watch mana Satan and Afa congratulations, Ngala Duko Jele. Yo, Yankuma Manga, greetings. So, looking at Brikama Area Council, because Commission of Jeleto, Minketa Base, I used to follow the commission, but one of my friends, Wole Furmoela and Keji, eventually I left because I've got too many things. And also Kamfan Bakel. Minketa Base Brikama Council, Area Council. I think when the commission report, na reporter, we will forget about the Jane Commission. Then we saw what happened in KMC. We saw what happened in CRR. But the interesting thing is, this commission, according to Kabriba formula, a lot of people were against it because they were saying it's targeting UDP. It wasn't. It wasn't. And I said it, Kabriba Flanco, it wasn't. It I feel allow the commission to go through. Today, it does not turn out to be a UDP issue. We have seen high-profile civil servant, corruption in the civil servant, not even in the government or the politicians. How many of the councillors or chairpersons will sit at Jana and they are being squeezed to ask how they spend? It's all the civil servant, if not chief financial officer, it will be tax collector. If not tax collector, it will be chief executive. If not chief executive, it will be even some of the cleaners are collecting tax in our area council. I'm not saying cleaners are not good. Those who are appointed as cleaners, they turn out to be tax collectors. In some instances, it's a family compound, a family business, a family members who collect the tax and pay it to their father as chief executive. Now tell me an instances from 2097 or 96, 2096 to 2016, where you will see Faljebe. And this happened just soon after when Ajame left. Chief executive were employing their Ibuka, they are not even hiding it. They are so proud at the commission to say it. Who is he? Is my son. Who is that? That is my son. What is he? Tax collector. Employed by you. Some they are brothers. When young boy was complaining about it at Brikama Area Council, they arrested all the elected councillors. All of them. And took them to serious crime unit. For what? But I'm still telling you, Brikama Area Council, the chief financial officer, couldn't account for $60 million. He has been asked to go home and report back with receipts and an account of $23 million between 2017 to now. Sorry, 2019 to now. Do we point fingers to the chairperson who was UDP then NPP? The only thing that he changed is his political party. But it's the same Sirif who was there as a governor. Do we blame the councillors, majority of whom were UDP? And it continued up to now. Some of the councils, cry foul. Government arrested them. In order to sort it out, what they did is they moved XYZ to Banjul, Y to Serekunda, this one to Brikama, this one to that. That's what they did. The corruption remained. If I'm a corrupt officer in Brikama Area Council, you take me to Banjul. You're just making me to be more corrupt, to go and find another way of doing it better in Banjul. Then you take the one from Banjul and you said, oh yeah, now in Brikama Area Council is bigger. Let me do it there even much better. The biggest human right, the biggest, apart from ending somebody's life, as far as I'm concerned, corruption is the biggest human right violation among them top there. Because that 1 million, that 40 million that you share among media, that 23 million that an individual cannot account for, you go and see how many compounds, how many houses has he or she built in the Gambia. The type of vehicle they can use, and is depriving the ordinary taxpayer, the woman, to get a stall. That woman is going to put it on the floor. Nimmantaman bengaye, Nisamabusata is all flooded. Akami wafi, ababundila jele nam domo fangala atinya. There is no stall. Omatinay man tax collectible every day. $10, $15, $20. Gambia. Senegalese buka tax collect. Guinean don't collect it. The British don't collect it. As our colonial master. It is collected by our own people. From women. These are the very women that we bring together. Give them rice, give them oil, give them meat, and give them cooking pots. And ask them to vote for us. After voting, we don't care about them. In fact, we will go, Namul Tamaranko, Operation Clear the Road, Nkela Fengol Busake Bay, Kela Fengol Chikakafai, Police Ola Motokonoran Soja or Katan Mahajola. And next, where it comes 2026, we will forget that. Wantero Sita Jani, after clearing everything, Ikosan Wantero, they open people. Senegalese traders in the country and others were paying $1,000 to people pre-ala silokam. And they are depriving ordinary people in the market to have access. And the operation clean the road. Do you know how many thousand people collected from there? What's what? Where is the help to clear the road? Promote the market access at the The police will not come to your aid when you need them. This is within 48 hours. When 3 people are killed, 3 of them are women, a Befa. In cold blood. No police. APRC No to Alliance, on the 18th of February, we've organized a fundraising in an enclosed place. We hired, we paid, we got permit, we did everything. Fabakari, Inspector General of Police and Minister of Interior, decided to say, we are using green, we didn't insult. We are using Jammeh's name, we did not insult. We did not cause trouble. We are using the emblem of APRC. So therefore, Altai Ali Janjang Ali Tiagasu Faikang. This is exactly what happened. In Tiagas. And that's okay. Go to Bundunga Kunda. A group of people will come out waiting. Young people living in the same community. The people knew them. They live here. They parade the highway and wait. Any other person who is going to the mosque at early morning, they attack you, take your mobile and your money. They do it to women, men, young men, old women, and so on. What does that cause? It causes old people now when going to the mosque, they go with cutlass, which is very dangerous. Now what is happening in some areas, they act as community police. Those community policing, most of them are young people. They also carry weapons with them. And then they go and attack these people who are thieves. They also got weapons. So it becomes like community police young people fighting against the criminals. Ali Alone, what that's going to develop now, it's going to be a gang-related thing. Community police gang plus this criminal gang will be fighting with weapons. And that's the stage it is going, because people are now carrying. And I tell you, I don't know the statistics. I don't find out. I don't know. But for example, me, I'm not involved in crime. I don't know anything how to use a knife. I don't know how to use a gun. I don't know how to use a cutlass. But because circumstances forces me to carry a knife, as soon as I saw a criminal, because of panic, I'm kind of like traumatized. The criminal may end up taking that knife from me and even kill me or wound me. These are all things that the police should know. The crime rate in the country, a statistics should now be there for everybody to see. The police, if they are well trained and well connected, they should be able to know where is hotspot, criminal crimes kakadami. What is jama nyadi lom juma, what type of crime it is. That's not happening. But in the morning, they will collect women, men, and put them in a pickup, and then take the army and go to the coastal road market and start clearing women from there, who spend thousands and thousands to buy condiment materials to sell and make profit. Take them out from there. At night, they don't care about the street there where people are standing and killing people. Where do we go? We don't even, at the moment, we, as a country, we cannot differentiate now. What are our religious priority? What are our spiritual priority? Understand what is our cultural priority. We don't understand what the laws say. That's why we are classing. We have different opinion about FGM, female circumcision. To a point, it now become, if we are not careful, it will become a religious debate when it is not. It will have a big impact on our international relations with people, with other countries. We've always been bribed. Our arms are twisted and put on our back. With certain things happening, the European Union came out and said, the Gambia has reached this stage, we are reducing the visa fee from €180 to €80. What is the significance of that? They increase it, we apply, they don't give us, we lose €180. They decrease it, we apply, we don't get it, we lose €80. It's non-refundable. They have not opened, they have not eased down the requirement to have entry into Europe. That is still there, very, very strict. It's the fee that they brought down. And like I said, the fee is non-refundable. And so many people are dancing and celebrating that. If you're ready, tell me, yeah? If I can come to England, or the British can leave Gambia, here and go to Gambia and enter, do whatever, find nothing criminal and come back. I cannot have my children to come and visit me here. Not because I cannot afford to pay their ticket or they don't have a place to sleep. This is our house, me and my wife, 3 bedrooms, 2 of us here. We always sleep in 1 bedroom. The other 2 bedrooms are empty. But we can't bring them because there are certain legal regulations we have to follow. It's not about paying the visa fee. It's not about paying the flight. In an instant, listen to this, very interesting, where somebody applied to go to Canada. The person got everything, paid the deposit to school, got invitation, went and had an interview, everything. Why didn't they give him a visa? Because they felt that there is high employment in the Gambia, and that if that person goes to study, he's not going to come back. That is the only reason. And he loses all the money he paid in terms of visa fee and other things. All that he got is they refund him back his deposit in the university. Where do we go as people, as Gambians? 2.5 million people, but we are still equally important as any country which is 40 million. That is my problem. Anyway, my time is up. 40 million I want allocation to media houses, specifically media houses. The visit of the new president highlighted the impact and the importance, the issues in Foni, particularly soldiers, the effect it have on the life of the people of Foni, appealing to remove those people. With ECOMOG, it is a regional agreement involving Senegal and other countries, but obviously the soldiers that are stationed in Foni, they are not economic. That should be reviewed, and because of the impact it has on the livelihood of the people of that region. We've seen in Senegal, when they were fighting for proper dispensation of democracy, they lost a lot of life, 15, nearly to 20. A lot of people were jailed. Even the president, the present president was in jail, released later, Sonko and all the others, some political parties. So, like I said, the security of the country is very paramount. We must not compromise that. It's not only the murder cases, but, armed robberies, theft, the border security, excessive high speed, killing, road accidents, lack of job, unemployment, discrimination, segregation in terms of making certain, these are all security. They've got security impact on the life of people. It's very wide. Lack of proper education, drop out. You have about 50,000 children that are dropped out because of difficulties. At the moment, we should be advocating this, the climatic condition, the weather changes. People are advised to stay indoors if they are not doing anything, because it's going to be very, very hot these days in Gambia. Drink more water. Avoid going out unnecessarily. Make sure you have enough water to drink. All these things, are issues that we look at. What happened at Manduar, a community forest. People want to sell it out. They went to the police, they arrested the youth. I want to congratulate that Minister of Environment and Forestry. And you know why? Because she's a woman. Because she is a woman. Musolom, jigen la. For the first time in the Gambia, a minister went and stood by the people and said, no, nobody is going to sell this community forest. In fact, those youths were released. A woman, she get out of her office and went up to the place. A woman, Musolom is a woman. So let's celebrate it. Gambia. For the first time, I went to Gambia. A woman was given a position, commissioner of police. She's been bypassed. This minister, she walked to the bush. She didn't sit in her office making calls or following video. She went and made sure those youths were released and stood there that community forest will remain to be a community forest, not to be sold. How many of our ministers are doing that? If they call them, especially men, they will give them money. We have seen what happened at fisheries. We've seen what happened at agriculture. We've seen what happened at tourism. Let's put women in positions of responsibilities. Let them rule us. It's not a crime. It's progress. Allah baraka bake. GRTS haven't got this 40 million. They are not part of it. Standard newspapers are not. Foray are not. Point newspaper are not. Teranga TV are not. Capital FM are not. West Coast Radio are not. And all the other, and Kerfatu, they are not. So Allah baraka, I'll say yam fanyi. Ngadanjam for what time. God bless you. People, can you please share it, and then so that I can see people's opinion, and then I can learn from it. Allah baraka baki almasutu dia. Wassalam.